Here we go, hour 2. Loaded in L.A. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We're live on iHeartRadio, on Fox Sports Radio, and FS1, also Sirius XM Channel 83. Joy Taylor is joining me for hour 2, the rest of the way. Joy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. I'm not a... You know, ever seen during the NBA season, everybody has their power rankings.
Right.
I'm not really a power ranking guy, although I do herd hierarchy during the NFL season. But the NBA season is very long. It lasts forever. So, but I'm going to do my, what's the date today? What's the date today? May 7th. I'm going to do my NBA power ratings. There's 8 teams left in the NBA. These are my NBA power ratings today. And I think you have 3 clear groups. Golden State 1, Houston 2, and Milwaukee 3. Okay, so Golden State is the best team in the NBA. And they're the champions. And then you have Houston is the best challenger. And then Milwaukee appears to be just as good as it gets in the Eastern Conference. Defense, offense, star coaching. And then so you got Golden State 1, you got Houston 2, and you got Milwaukee as a number 3. That they feel those are excellent basketball teams, capable of winning the title, although I like Houston, Golden State, probably more than Milwaukee to win the title. Then I think you have the next 4. They're very, very good teams, but they all have a flaw. I would put them Sixers, Toronto, Denver, and Portland. They're inches, not feet away. Sixers, Ben Simmons can't shoot. I'm not sure Simmons and Embiid work together, and Embiid's sick. Toronto's sort of a one-man team. So is Denver. Portland I like a lot. They got a lot of guys that can get you buckets, but there are some limitations of Lillard isn't scorching hot. And then number 8 is the Boston Celtics. And I was wrong. I thought they'd turn it around, and they have been a 4-seed, disjointed, drama-filled, underachieving mess. They're a mess. I can make an argument that all 7 teams above them feel good this morning. Golden State saying, listen, we almost sent 2 games into overtime, and the refs let them mug us. Houston feels like, hey, you know what? We got the chance where we want them. Milwaukee's like, listen, we got a 3-1 lead, series over, we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Sixers are like, hey, if Embiid's not 6, if Embiid isn't sick, we got a 3-1 lead in the series heading to Toronto. Toronto feels like it's 2-2, we're headed back home. Denver's like, hey, 2-2 headed back home, and they don't have an answer for Jokic, and Jamal Murray's playing the best basketball of his career, and Portland still feels like, hey, we won in Denver the first time, we'll win in Denver again. If you're Boston this morning, where's the good news?
You are down on the Celtics today.
No, I mean, I admit it. I'm wrong on this. I kept saying, don't get caught up in the seeding. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll get their drama figured out, and they just can't. And the coach doesn't work with the star, and the star doesn't work with others. I mean, Gordon Hayward, what is Gordon Hayward now? Like, what do you get on a nightly basis with Gordon Hayward?
Sometimes you can have too much. Maybe they just have too much. They have got a lot of guys that need the ball in their hands and make plays.
Shaq and Barkley.
You can have too much of one thing.
I mean, I think it falls on Kyrie. You want to be the man. Shaq and Barkley called out Kyrie last night. I don't feel good about the Celtics. Here it is.
You can't complain about not being a man. Ask to be the man now that you are the man. You got to step up. This is the time you got to step up. I don't want to hear no excuse. I don't want to hear none of that. If you shoot 22 times, you better hit more than 7 shots in the playoffs.
So I don't want to share the limelight with LeBron. Okay, I want my own team. Now, this is the price you pay. That's the way it works. People never say, man, Mark West didn't win the championship. They never said Ceballos didn't win the championship. But I love both of those guys. They said Charles Barkley didn't win the championship. That's the way it is. And that's what Kyrie, he says, I want to be my own man. And now you're your own man who going on vacation Thursday morning.
Yeah, I bought into this Celtic team. Yeah, you gave me a smart coach, a smart star, a good team, a good GM. I figured they'd just kind of figure it out, and they didn't, and they're dead, and Milwaukee's better, and Milwaukee makes every basket tough, and Milwaukee has the better bench, and it's over. I mean, there's no question watching this series. After game 1, Milwaukee's deeper, better, more fluid. They play together. The guys work together, and their bench was great last night. Let me shift to this. There is a story this morning that Golden State is now prioritizing signing Klay Thomson. Stephen Clay's the future. That they've come to terms with what Kevin Durant is. A brilliant basketball nomad. A vagabond. There's always been that saying, guys say this, you date some, you marry others. Some you date, some you marry. By the way, both can be great. But there are relationships that feel like it would last a long time. And then relationships, it's fun. And let's say Kevin Durant bolts, exits, leaves. If you were the Warriors and you never won another title, but you had Steph and Klay, which are the Jerry West, Gail Goodrich of this generation, the best backcourt, best offensive backcourt in basketball. They're going to be for 10 years or more. You'd still be in the record books. You'd still have the titles. You'd have arguably your 2 or 3 most beloved players. They both play the style of basketball going forward that works, which is a bunch of threes. They seem to like each other. Klay doesn't talk much. Steph does, but is likable. I think the Bay Area is fine with it. I think sometimes you just have to realize that not everybody is built long-term. I've worked with employees. I've worked with people, and you're not going to build around them. They're just not built around personalities. They're just talented. They're just gifted. But you wouldn't build your franchise around him. Like Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Steph Curry. I think Kobe, you plant a flag with those guys. Kobe's a businessman. The Lakers were his business real estate, and he didn't want to give it up. And he got the bigness of the brand. The Laker brand was still strong, and you build around Kobe. Kevin Durant's different. Different time. More of a vagabond. More of a nomad. More of a wanderer. That's personality. By the way, even if KD leaves, the Warriors' KD Facebook page is awesome. It's got pictures of trophies. It's got pictures of parades. It's an awesome Facebook page. But this summer, his status on the Facebook page, it will suddenly go to single. And that's okay. That happens too. But I go back to what Marcus Thompson said about a month ago on our show. His personality, he is for sale. He can be swayed over a martini. Pre-dinner, post-dinner, he's a different guy. Here was Marcus Thompson.
I'm not buying that at the last moment he's sitting at a meeting with somebody and he can't be swayed. Either way, to stay or go. Because
that's his personality.
Yeah. He could think it's done right now, whether that's staying or going. I still think later on, like, he can be swayed. Like, he's a guy, he feels everything. He sits in the room. He's present. He's got to weigh this stuff. We still have 3 or 4 more series if they win a championship of data to insert into this equation, right? Like, I don't know if even if he thinks he knows the answer, I don't think he knows the answer. I'm not buying it.
And I think because of that personality type, don't deny it, embrace it, that he's probably, do you want to go through this every year? LeBron's a little bit like this. LeBron kind of, you can change his mind. He gets bored. He's kind of restless. That's okay. I mean, LeBron and KD are the best 2 basketball players in the world. They got a bunch of options. And we also have to realize the culture has changed. AAU basketball, it used to be everybody played high school basketball. You were loyal to a team. And then all these players that are in the NBA now, almost all of them now that Garnett's gone and Kobe's gone, now all these guys played AAU basketball where you were up for sale. You just went, joined your buddies and played. And then you went to college for 1 year and you weren't really loyal to college. And then you go to the NBA and LeBron's like, why don't we have more power? The basketball culture that exists in America today is different. I'm not blaming the players. But it used to be you went to high school and you were loyal to one high school and you played on Friday night high school game with a band. Now you play AAU on Saturday. Your services are for sale. Who wants me? The team in Atlanta, the team in San Diego, the team in Detroit, the team in Indianapolis. Who wants my service? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you go to college, and it's like, okay, Max Krzyzewski, I've got the power. You just get me for 1 year. I'm not loyal. 1 year, Mr. Calipari. And then you go to the NBA, and it's like, after my first contract, I'm going to Bolton. It's okay. Steph and Klay, maybe even Draymond. Those are your guys. The Facebook page with Kevin Durant, if he leaves, it's still parades and trophies and smiles and laughs. It's all good. He's just going to move to single this summer. It's okay. It happens all the time. Coming up next, Chris Broussard will be joining us. Greg Jennings later this hour. Some interesting NFL news. The countdown to Mother's Day next Sunday, May 12th, is officially on. Your mom has that mom radar. She knows when you're really engaged and thoughtful, and she knows when you're faking it. Now is not the time to buy her a gift 6 hours before Mother's Day. Why don't you get it done now? 24 multicolored roses. Yes, 24 multicolored roses. And a free vase. $29.99. Get that at 1-800-Flowers.com today. Beat the Mother's Day rush. These are a beautiful mix of premium roses, rainbow of colors, okay, picked at their peak from Premier Farms and shipped overnight, always to ensure freshness. That's why this company endures at 1-800-Flowers. 24 beautiful multicolored roses, rainbow of colors, and a free vase. $29.99. Great offer. Now, this offer, you got about 2 days on this. It expires Thursday. Make mom feel loved. 1-800-Flowers.com. Klay radio icon, upper right side. Put in the code HERD, HERD. This offer ends Thursday. 24 multi